Hi guys, this is Crystal from Keto Carnivore Chris, and in this video I'm just going to show you some buns and bread and cinnamon sticks that I made using the protein sparing bread recipe from Maria Emmerich. This was last week and I didn't get around to posting a video, so I thought I would share. In the bowl, I'm mixing the mixture for the hamburger buns and the baguettes that you just saw. I used a small carton of egg whites, the 500 ml size. I added 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, and I had just mixed in 2 teaspoons of swerve. So in this mixture, instead of the traditional 60 grams of egg white protein powder that I had been using, I decided to do less and I only mixed in 45 grams here. So I didn't drop it by much, but just a little bit. I wanted to see if I could make a batch of buns with less egg protein powder to stretch out my protein powder and make it more cost effective, because I really do like this recipe and these buns. And you can see up to this point, the mixture is identical to when I add 60 grams of protein powder. So I pulled out my parchment lined baking tray and I started to form my baguettes first. So these would be like larger than hamburger buns. I wanted to make them quite large so that I could do sub-type sandwiches. I did use one as a hot dog bun, but it was a larger hive cut hot dog. It wasn't your little tiny hot dog. I did scoop them out and mound them quite high, only because they do lose their shape a little bit. And I find that when you're scooping the mixture out onto the parchment paper, it's easy to form. You just have to maneuver your spatula and build them up. I also made 3 large hamburger buns as well and mounded those up high too. And with the remainder of the mixture that was left, I made some cinnamon sticks. So for the cinnamon sticks, I decided to keep it pretty simple and just spread the remainder of the mixture out on a baking tray with parchment paper. The mixture is not spread out very thick. It's about 1.5 inches thick, I'd say. I just did a big pizza rectangle shape on my paper, and then I added some cinnamon powder right on top, and then some brown swerve. I sprinkled that on top, and then for something different, because I wasn't adding butter to this mixture like I did previously, I added some white monk fruit sweetener just to give it a little bit of a different texture, which was kind of nice because it gave it like little crunchy bits after it was all done. Whoa, steam, sorry about that. But you can see the cinnamon sticks weren't in very long. They're much lighter. Even my buns are lighter because I did my bread first and I wanted to pull the cinnamon sticks and buns out before I shut the oven off, because I didn't want to keep opening and closing my oven. So the cinnamon sticks came out at 20 minutes and then the buns came out right after. And then I shut my oven off and let the bread finish cooling in the oven for well over a half an hour. And you can see the buns turned out great. They had a nice color and size. Again, I don't worry about my buns falling, being like my loaves of bread, so I pull them out. I cut all of them up. They felt and looked no different to me at this point. The only difference I noticed with the buns is that after they had been in the fridge for the next day or two after, you could tell the crust crumbled off a little bit more. It wasn't as firm, but it was still really delicious. I definitely probably will keep the ratio of 45 grams just to stretch my product out further, because it was still really tasty using 500 mils of egg whites and 45 grams of the protein powder. I did get a bit of a firmer crust the other way though. And then my bread, I don't know why I was showing that clip, but it came out perfect. I got a different type of bread pan. It was a spring loaf bread pan, so it had that spring action where it was easier to get the bread out, and this was quite a large pan too, width-wise. So I was able to do a huge loaf and spread my mixture out quite a bit in this pan, and that way if my loaf fell, I would still get a lot out of it. And it didn't really fall that much. This was probably my most successful loaf of bread. It was quite big and it held its shape well, and I was able to get a lot of pieces out of it. This loaf I did exactly the same as my other loaves though, so it was 500 mils of the egg white egg white carton, and then 60 grams of the egg white protein powder. I didn't want to cut down on the egg white protein powder in my loaf of bread just yet because I wanted to work on getting the height and all that right. So this loaf turned out great. I will put all the measurements that I used for the loaf of bread and for the buns down below. Back to the cinnamon sticks here. Instead of just the regular frosting, I did a cream cheese frosting this time. So I heated up a little bit of cream cheese in the microwave and then added some confectioner swerve and cream just to taste. I did cut my cinnamon sticks with a pizza cutter into 8 sticks, and the bread on the cinnamon sticks was a lot softer than the actual bread or the buns, and that's because they were only in the oven for 20 minutes, so not very long. You can see they're not even as dark as the buns or the bread, and if anything, they almost look underdone, but they were so good this way and soft. They were fully cooked though, just to let you know, but they just barely were, so super soft and delicious. I just thought I'd share this all with you guys. I know I've been posting a lot about this bread lately, but I really like it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.